March 21, 2024, in South Korea against the San Diego Padres. The most expensive pitcher in baseball history takes the mound. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, 12 years, $325 million, stares down the plate. The entire baseball world is watching. This is the moment everyone's been waiting for. One pitch, crushed, another, hammered, a third. Launch angle, 108 degrees, gone.
And he struck him out. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Yamamoto.
By the end of the first inning, he's thrown 43 pitches, 5 runs allowed, 5 earned. The worst Dodgers pitching debut in 140 years. Social media explodes. The takes are ruthless, overpaid, overrated, too small for the big leagues. But here's what nobody understood that night. This wasn't a fluke. This wasn't failure. This wasn't the end of anything. This was phase 1 of a story that started with a kid who wanted to be a salaryman and ended with him throwing a complete game shutout in the World Series. A story about a pitcher who did everything wrong according to conventional wisdom and became untouchable because of it. The question isn't why Yamamoto struggled that night in Seoul. The question is, how did a 5-foot 10-inch pitcher with no leg kick, who trains with javelins and handstands instead of squats and bench presses, become the most dominant arm on the planet? How did someone the scouts called worthless transform into the highest-paid pitcher in baseball history? I'm about to show you. And trust me, this gets wild. If you want to see how flexibility beats muscle, how doubt becomes dynasty, how a barber's advice changed baseball history, hit that subscribe button right now. Because what you're about to hear will change how you think about training, dedication, and what it really takes to be elite. Okayama Prefecture, Japan. Yoshinobu Yamamoto is born into a house where baseball is religion. His father's obsession becomes the soundtrack of his childhood games on TV every single night. The crack of the bat, the roar of the crowd, it's all he knows. First grade, he picks up a glove for the first time. It feels natural. Elementary school, he plays every position the team needs. Catcher 1 week, outfield the next. Wherever there's a gap, Yamamoto fills it. Middle school, the team has a pitcher shortage. Yamamoto, who's thrown a few innings here and there, gets forced into the role. He's not special, not yet. He's just another kid playing baseball because it's what kids do in Japan. In his elementary school yearbook, under Future Dream, he writes, "Salaryman, not pro pitcher, not all-star, not World Series champion, office worker." The dream is simple, safe, ordinary, just like him. But here's the thing about Yamamoto that nobody saw coming. While other kids are resting, he's practicing. While others are sleeping in on weekends, he's got a ball in his hand. Not because he thinks he's destined for greatness, but because he can't help himself. He's competitive to his core. Every day he's asking the same question. How do I get better? How do I get stronger? He doesn't have size. He doesn't have speed. He doesn't have natural talent. But he has something else. He has effort, pure, relentless, obsessive effort. End of year 1, high school. Yamamoto pitches in a game where pro scouts are watching, but not for him. They're there for the other guys, the big arms, the phenoms. Yamamoto gets lit up, absolutely destroyed. After the game, walking past the scout section, he overhears them talking. One scout leans over to another and says, "That kid? He's got nothing, no future, not pro material." That sentence changed everything. Most kids would have quit. Most kids would have believed them, but not Yamamoto. That moment lit a fire that never went out. From that moment forward, Yamamoto stops being the kid who works hard. He becomes the kid who works with purpose, with clarity, with a plan. His fastball at the time, 135 kilometers per hour, barely 84 miles per hour. Soft toss compared to the elite arms in Japan. But he doesn't complain. He doesn't make excuses. He goes to work. 6 months later, 151 kilometers per hour, 94 miles per hour. A 10-mile-per-hour jump in half a year. He throws a no-hitter in the regional tournament final, shuts down one of the best lineups in the country. They start calling him one of Japan's 4 Heavenly Kings, an honor reserved for the nation's most elite high school pitchers. His pro debut seems inevitable. Scouts are calling. Teams are interested. The future is bright. But then his elbow starts hurting. Not just sore, hurting. The kind of pain that keeps you up at night. The kind of pain that makes you wonder if you'll ever throw again. Confidence crumbles. Scouts are calling, but now he's terrified. His coach is pushing him to declare for the draft, but Yamamoto can't shake the doubt. Can I really do this? Can I compete at the pro level with an elbow that feels like it's held together with tape? One day, sitting in his regular barbershop, the place he's been going since he was a kid, The barber asks him what's wrong. Yamamoto explains everything: the elbow, the fear, the doubt. And the barber, this regular guy cutting hair in a small town, says something simple: what do you have to lose? If you don't try, you'll spend the rest of your life wondering what could have been. 2016 NPB Draft. Yoshinobu Yamamoto declares. He goes pro. The Oryx Buffaloes select him. A new chapter begins. Yamamoto joins the Oryx Buffaloes with hope and fear in equal measure. His elbow, still strained, still fragile. Traditional pitching mechanics aren't working. Every time he throws, he feels it. The strain, the tightness. Something has to change. Then a trainer approaches him with something that sounds absolutely insane. What if you threw like a javelin thrower? Here's what that means. Instead of the traditional pitching motion that every coach in Japan teaches, Yamamoto would move his release point further back. He'd generate power not from his arm, but from his core and legs. His entire body would become a whip, transferring energy from the ground up through his hips, through his torso, and finally exploding through his arm at the release point. It's biomechanically sound in theory, but in practice, nobody does this. The team hates the idea. Experts call it dangerous, reckless. They say it'll destroy his arm faster than any elbow injury ever could. The pushback is so intense that team officials actually contact his high school coach and ask him to talk Yamamoto out of it. They're genuinely worried he's going to ruin his career before it starts. But Yamamoto doesn't flinch. He's done listening to conventional wisdom. He's done doing what everyone else does. This will make me stronger, he tells them, and he believes it with every fiber of his being. From that point forward, Yamamoto rewrites how a pitcher trains. He stops lifting heavy weights. No squats, no bench press, no deadlifts. Instead, he focuses entirely on bodyweight exercises, handstands to build shoulder stability, bridge exercises to enhance spinal and ribcage flexibility, bodyweight shoulder drills that look more like gymnastics than baseball training, and of course, javelin throwing. Lots of javelin throwing. His goal wasn't just flexibility for the sake of flexibility. His goal was learning to generate power while his muscles are stretched, which is the exact moment a javelin leaves your hand. It's the same principle behind a bow and arrow. The more you can stretch the bow, the more explosive the release. Yamamoto wanted his body to be that bow. People thought he was crazy. They thought he'd be out of baseball in 2 years. And then it clicked. 2021 season, Yoshinobu Yamamoto explodes onto the scene. He wins the pitching quintuple crown, leading the league in wins, ERA, strikeouts, winning percentage, and innings pitched, first player in Oryx Buffalo's history to ever do it. He wins the unanimous Sawamura Award, Japan's equivalent of the Cy Young. He wins league MVP, and he leads the Oryx Buffaloes to their first championship in 25 years. The team that nobody believed in, the pitcher that nobody believed in champions. 2022 season. Surely he can't do it again, right? Wrong. Yamamoto wins the quintuple crown again. Second straight Sawamura Award, second straight league MVP, another championship, another Japan Series title. And just to make it clear, he's playing a different game than everyone else. He throws a perfect game, 27 up, 27 down. Not a single base runner. Perfection. 2023 season. At this point, it's not even fair. Third straight quintuple crown, third straight Sawamura Award, third straight MVP. He's doing things that have never been done in Japanese baseball history. And then, in September, he throws another no-hitter. Back-to-back years with a no-hitter. The dominance is suffocating. At this point, scouts aren't just watching Yamamoto pitch. They're studying him. They're taking notes on his training, his mechanics, his flexibility, because whatever he's doing, it's working at a level nobody's ever seen. November 2023, Yamamoto announces, "I'm going to MLB." The reaction is immediate, excitement mixed with skepticism. He's only 5 feet 10 inches. Can his body handle 162 games plus playoffs? Can his unique mechanics translate to the major leagues, where hitters are bigger, stronger, faster? Ohtani is 6 feet 4 inches. Darvish is 6 feet 5 inches. Yamamoto is small by MLB standards. The posting begins. Every big market team wants him. The Yankees, the Mets, the Red Sox, the Giants, bidding war. The numbers keep climbing. And then December 21st, 2023, the Los Angeles Dodgers sign Yoshinobu Yamamoto. 12 years, $325 million. The largest contract for a pitcher in MLB history, bigger than Garrett Cole, bigger than Max Scherzer, the richest pitching deal ever written. The kid who wanted to be a salaryman just became the most expensive pitcher on earth. March 21st, 2024, opening day. Not in Los Angeles, not in America, in Seoul, South Korea, MLB's international showcase. The spotlight couldn't be brighter. First inning, 5 runs allowed, 43 pitches, Yamamoto looks lost. Hitters are sitting on his pitches. Nothing is working. By the time he's pulled, the damage is done. Worst Dodgers debut since 1884. The headlines write themselves. Bust. Overpaid. Too small for MLB. The hot takes flood social media. Some people demand the Dodgers void the contract. Others say he should go back to Japan. But if you think that's where this story ends, you don't know Yamamoto. Smash that like button if you're still with me, because this is where it gets good. Yamamoto doesn't panic. He doesn't change who he is. He doesn't abandon the training methods that made him great. He keeps doing handstands in the clubhouse, keeps throwing javelins during long toss, keeps working on flexibility while everyone else is in the weight room. And then something interesting happens. Mookie Betts, one of the best hitters in baseball, 5-time All-Star, former MVP, starts watching Yamamoto's warm-up routine, and he's fascinated. Betts starts copying Yamamoto's flexibility drills, the handstands, the bridges, the core rotation exercises. It gets to the point where Mookie Betts actually hires Yamamoto's personal trainer to teach him the full system. Because here's what MLB is starting to realize. American pitchers focus on muscle, biceps, triceps, legs like tree trunks, power through force, but Japanese pitchers focus on movement, flexibility, range of motion, power through efficiency. Look at the 3 most dominant Japanese pitchers in baseball. Shohei Ohtani uses shoulder flexibility to create a wider range of motion, which increases arm speed and generates velocity without muscular strain. Yamamoto uses core rotation and spinal flexibility to generate explosive torque from his waist and abs, turning his entire body into a coiled spring. Roki Sasaki uses leg flexibility to create longer strides and deeper hip rotation, which extends his delivery and creates more propulsion behind every pitch. Flexibility over force. Movement over muscle. Mid-season, Yamamoto suffers a shoulder injury. It's not serious, but it requires rest. He's frustrated. He's isolated. The doubters are getting loud again. But then, something beautiful happens. He bonds with Shohei Ohtani, his baseball bestie. They train together, eat together, laugh together. He becomes close friends with Kim Hyun-seong, his Korean teammate. They're always joking around, always talking. And when reporters ask the obvious question, "What language do you guys even speak?" Yamamoto just smiles. Baseball is the language. Competition is the language. Respect is the language. He comes back from injury stronger, more focused. And as the season progresses, Yamamoto starts looking like the pitcher the Dodgers paid $325 million for his ERA drops. His strikeouts rise. By the time October arrives, Yamamoto Yoshinobu is ready. October 2024, NLDS Game 2. Yamamoto takes the mound against the San Diego Padres. What happens next is masterclass. 9 innings, 111 pitches, complete game shutout. The first Dodgers pitcher to throw a postseason complete game in 21 years. Hitters can't touch him, they can't time him, they can't solve him. Yamamoto is in total control. The World Series arrives. Yamamoto dominates again. His flexibility, his mechanics, his mental toughness, it all comes together on the biggest stage in baseball. The Dodgers win the World Series. And standing on the mound in the final out, holding the trophy above his head, is the kid who wanted to be a salaryman. The kid the scouts said had nothing. The kid who trained with javelins when everyone told him he was crazy. Yoshinobu Yamamoto didn't have size. He didn't have speed. He didn't have the tools that scouts look for. But he had belief. Unshakable, relentless belief. When scouts said no, he said, "Watch me." When his elbow hurt, he learned to throw differently. When experts said his training was dangerous, he proved them wrong. When MLB doubted him after that disastrous debut, he threw a complete game shutout in the World Series. The secret wasn't talent. The secret wasn't genetics. The secret was relentless evolution, the willingness to be different, the courage to trust yourself when the entire world is telling you you're wrong. If this story inspired you, subscribe to Foul Ball for more untold baseball legends. Drop a comment and tell me, who should we cover next? What story needs to be told? I'll see you in the next one. Keep grinding.